Good morning, children. How are you? Do you enjoy the online class? Today let us begin the chapter, The Flower. You all have seen the different types of flowers growing on the plants. Why do plants produce flowers? What is the main function of the flower? What is the structure of the flower? All these things you will learn today. So, flower. You know, flower is the reproductive part of the plant. What is the meaning of reproduction? Producing the young ones of one's own kind. In the lower classes, you learned that plants produce the flowers. Flowers change into fruits. Fruits contain seeds. Seeds grow into new plants. So the flowers change into the fruits and the fruits contain the seeds. So today let us study about the structure of the flower. There are different types of flowers. You can see the variety of flowers in our surroundings. Here there are different types of flowers. Here is a flower, hibiscus. You are familiar with this flower. Here is another flower, that also hibiscus. This is another variety of hibiscus. Here is another variety of hibiscus. And here is another flower. And here there is another type of flowers. So there are different varieties of flowers. They vary in their size, shape, color and the smell. But basically all flowers have a common structure. Let us see the structure of a flower. Here is a flower. This flower is attached on the stem with the help of a stalk. The stalk of the flower is called the pedicel. But do you think all the flowers have a pedicel? No. Some flowers have no pedicel. The flowers with a pedicel is called pedicellate flower, and a flower without pedicel is called a sessile flower. So the pedicel is the stalk of the flower. The upper part of the pedicel is somewhat enlarged. This enlarged upper part of the pedicel is called thalamus or receptacle. Thalamus or receptacle. What is the function of the thalamus? All other parts of the flower are born on the thalamus or the receptacle. So we can say it carries all other parts of the flower. A flower has 4 parts. All the parts of the flower is arranged on the thalamus in 4 whorls. So the 4 whorls of the flower are calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Let us see each part one by one. The first outermost part of the flower is the calyx. Calyx is green in color. It consists of sepals. So it is like this. Here is the calyx. It is green in color. It is the outermost whorl of the flower. It consists of sepals. So the sepals are collectively called calyx. Then the brightly colored part of the flower. The brightly colored part of the flower is called the corolla. Corolla consists of petals. There are different types of petals. In some flowers there will be 5 petals. In some flowers more than 5. Like that. Then, so these petals are brightly colored to attract the insects for pollination. Here you can see the petals, the brightly colored petals. Let us take the section of a flower. This is the section of the flower. Here you can see all the parts. Now look at the board, you can see the parts clearly. Then the next word of the flower, that is the androecium. Here you can see the androecium. That is, here androecium consists of stamens. Here you can see the androecium here. Each stamen consists of two parts, a filament and a anther. A filament like this, and at the tip of it there is an anther like this. Anther contains pollen sac that contains the pollen grains. So the main function of the anther is to produce the pollen grains. Pollen grains are the male sex cell of the flower. The androecium is the male part of the flower. Next is the innermost part of the flower, that is the gynoecium. Gynoecium consists of an ovary located at the base of the flower, then an elongated style and a stigma at the tip. So these three together known as gynoecium. And this gynoecium consists of pistil. Actually this part is called the pistil. In a flower there will be more than one pistil. So all the pistils together known as gynoecium. So pistil or the carpel consists of the basal ovary, the middle style and the tip of it there is a stigma. The ovary of the flower produce the ovules. That ovules are the female part of the flower, or we can say the female sex cell of the flower. These ovules grow into the seeds of the fruit, and the ovary of the flower grow into the fruit. So let us study about the parts of the flower with the help of a flow chart. So a flower consists of 4 parts. Each part is arranged in 4 words. First word is the calyx, second one is the corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Calyx consists of sepals, corolla consists of petals, androecium consists of stamen and gynoecium consists of pistil or carpel. Let us see the first one, calyx. You know, calyx is the outermost word of the flower. It is green in color. So you can imagine its function. Since it has green color, it contains chlorophyll. So it helps to produce the food or synthesize the food. And the main function of the calyx or the sepal is protect the flower when it is in bud condition. Then in the flower, the sepals may be united or may be free. If the flower contains the united sepals, then we can say gamosepalous. If the sepals are free, then we can say polysepalous. Next is the corolla. Corolla consists of petals. Petals are the brightly colored part of the flower. Their bright color is to attract the insects for pollination. The number of petals may be varied from flower to flower. If the flower contains the petals, which are free, then we can say polypetalous flower. If the flower contains the petals united, then we can say it is a gamopetalous flower. The next part is the androecium. Androecium consists of stamens. It is the male part of the flower. Each stamen consists of a filament and an anther. bilobed anther. The filamen carry the anther, and the anther contains the pollen grains. And the arrangement of and stamen in the flower is different. The number of stamen in a flower is different. That will be varied from flower to flower. If all the stamens are free in the flower, then we can say it is a polyandrous flower. Polyandrous. That means stamens are free, as in petunia flower. And sometimes the stamens are united in one bundle, two bundle, or three bundles. If the stamens are united in one bundle, then it is called monadelphous condition. Monadelphous condition. If the stamens are united in two bundles, then such a type of arrangement is called diadelphous condition. If the stamens are arranged in many bundles, then that arrangement is called polyadelphous condition. So the arrangement of the stamen is varied from flower to flower. In each case, you have to learn the example. Monadelphous condition, that means it's a single one group. And the diadelphous condition, as in pea flower. And the polyadelphous condition is found in Bombax, Gynoecium. This is the female part of the flower. And this consists of the pistil. Pistils are also known as carpel. Each pistil or carpel consists of three parts: ovary, style, and the stigma. Ovary is the basal part of the pistil. It contains the ovules. Then the tip of the pistil is called the stigma. It is the landing place of pollen grains when a flower is pollinated. And then the middle part is the style. It is elongated. This style connects the ovary to the stigma. If a flower contains all these four floral parts, such flowers are called a complete flower or a perfect flower. Complete or a perfect flower. If any one of the floral part is absent, then that flower is called an incomplete flower or imperfect flower. Among these four parts of the flower, the calyx and corolla are the non-essential parts of the flower. And the androecium and gynoecium, they are the male and the female part of the flower. So they are the essential part of the flower. So if a flower contains both the non-essential and essential part, then it is a perfect flower. So now you know what is a perfect flower. A flower which contains no male and female part. Such a flower is called a neuter flower. So a neuter flower is a flower in which both androecium and gynoecium are lacking. For example, ray florets of sunflower. In sunflower, the flowers are arranged in different whorls. In that, there are two types of flowers: ray florets and disc florets. You will learn about it in later. So now you just understand, ray florets of sunflower are neuter flowers. Next structure found in the flower is the bract. That means sometimes some plants bear very small flowers. The flowers will not be that much attractive. So to give attraction to the flower, there will be a colored structure near the flower in the axil of the leaf. That structure is called bract. You might have seen it in the plant such as bougainvillea. There is a colored leaf-like structure. Sometimes we may confuse that these bracts are colorful, so it looks like a flower. Actually, the flowers of Bougainvillea are very, very small. When you observe the flower, at the base of the corolla, you can see some nectar. The nectar producing cells in the flower are called nectaries. They are called nectaries. Nectar producing cells in the flower. Another structure found in the flower is the perianth. That is, sometimes in a flower, we cannot identify the calyx and corolla. Both will be same color. Or we cannot say which is the calyx and which is the corolla. So such an unidentified structure is called perianth. If the perianth is like a sepal, it is called sepaloid. If the perianth is like a petal, it is called petaloid. So perianth is a structure that is we cannot identify. It is an unidentified structure. Or we can say it looks like a sepal or petal. So now you know the flower contains the stamens and pistil. If a flower contains only stamens, then such flowers are called staminate flowers. If a flower contains only the pistil, such flowers are called pistillate flowers. That means staminate flowers are the male flowers and the pistillate flowers are the female flowers. Or such flowers are unisexual flowers. They contain either the stamen or the pistil. In a plant, the flowers may be single or may be in bunches, or they may be arranged in different ways. So a collection of flowers on a twig is called inflorescence. Here in this case there is only one flower. So this is a single flower. But sometimes you can see as in Acacia and Ixora and all, there are many flowers arranged in different bundles. So such an arrangement of flower is called inflorescence. So inflorescence means a collection of flowers on a twig. Next is the placentation. Placenta means inside the ovary of the flower there are ovules. These ovules are arised from a cushion-like region or a soft region. That region is called the placenta. So the arrangement of ovules in the ovary is known as placentation. So placenta is a soft cushion-like region found in the ovary of the flower. In the placenta arise the ovules, or the ovules are arised in the placenta. So its main function is to give origin to the ovules. Next is the sexuality in plants. Most plants contain flowers. That flowers are bisexual. That means they contain both the androecium and gynoecium. But in some plants produce either the male flower or the female flowers. So that is called unisexual flowers. So that unisexual flowers are two types. Two types of plants depends on the type of flowers are monoecious and dioecious. Monoecious means both the male and the female flowers grow on the same plant. Dioecious means a plant contains only either the male or the female flowers. Is that clear? Once more. Monoecious means the plant which produce both male and female flowers on the same plant. Dioecious plant means the plant that produce either the male flower or the female flowers. That's all with the chapter. For better understanding, we can watch an animation.
Parts of a flower. Flowers vary in size, shape and color. But all flowers have the same basic parts. The main parts of flowers are pedicel, and thalamus. Calyx or sepals. Corolla or petals. Andrecium or stamens. Gynoecium or pistils. Pedicel and thalamus. The flower is borne on a stalk called pedicel. The uppermost end of the pedicel is swollen. This swollen part of the pedicel is known as the thalamus or receptacle. It bears all the 4 whorls of a flower. Calyx or sepals. The outermost whorl of a flower is calyx. It consists of leaf-like structures called sepals. Sepals are usually green in color. Calyx also protects the flower during the bud stage. Corolla or petals. Corolla is the second whorl of a flower. Each segment of the corolla is known as petal. Petals are usually brightly colored due to the presence of pigments. The bright color, sweet smell and nectar attract the insects. Andrecium or stamens. It is the third floral whorl which is composed of 1 or more male reproductive organs called stamens. Each stamen consists of a thin stalk called filament and 2 lobed head called anther. The anther and filament are connected by a connective tissue. Each anther lobe has 2 pollen sacs which are filled with pollen grains. Pollen grains are minute in size and take part in reproduction. Gynoecium or pistils. Gynoecium is the 4th whorl of a flower which is composed of 1 or more female reproductive organs called carpel. Each carpel consists of an ovary, style and stigma. The stigma is the terminal part of the pistil. It is sticky, rough and hairy. Stigma is meant for receiving pollen grains during pollination. The style is the thread-like structure which connects the stigma with the ovary. It is meant for raising the level of the stigma. The basal, swollen part of the pistil is called ovary. The ovary bears ovules on a swollen tissue called placenta. Each ovary contains a female reproductive cell or egg.